She was already standing up to leave, coat half on, hope half gone, when a quiet voice from the next table stopped her cold. "Can we join?" She didn't know it yet, but that single question would change 3 lives forever. Christmas lights glowed softly across the café windows, reflecting off ornaments and mugs of untouched cocoa. The room was warm, loud with laughter, and full of couples leaning close, sharing stories that felt effortless. For Emma, it felt like being the only person standing still while the world danced around her. She glanced at the empty chair across from her for the 3rd time in 10 minutes. The blind date was supposed to be simple. Low expectations. Just coffee. Her sister had promised, "He's nice. Just give it a chance." Nice never showed up. Her phone buzzed once. A short message, "Sorry. Something came up. Can't make it." That was it. No apology. No explanation. Just another quiet rejection wrapped in casual words. Emma swallowed hard, forcing herself not to cry in public. Again she stared at her hands, fingers tracing the rim of the cup. 32 years old. Good job. Kind heart. Still somehow invisible when it mattered most. Christmas had a way of amplifying loneliness, every song, every decoration reminding her of what she didn't have. She stood, slipping her coat on, when she noticed a little girl a few tables away. 6, maybe 7 years old. Red sweater. Hair tied in uneven pigtails. She was swinging her legs nervously, whispering something to the men beside her. He looked tired. Not the careless tired of late nights out, but the deep, quiet tired of someone who carried responsibility alone. He wore a worn jacket, his eyes gentle but guarded. A single dad. Emma recognized that look immediately. Her own father had worn it after her mother passed. The little girl pointed at Emma. The men followed her gaze, hesitated, then did something unexpected. He stood. Emma had already taken 1 step away when she heard his voice. Sorry," he said, polite but unsure. "I don't mean to interrupt. But, can we join you?" The cafe noise faded. Emma blinked, confused. "My daughter noticed you were alone," he continued, nodding toward the girl. "She said Christmas is for shared tables." Emma looked at the child, who smiled shyly and waved. Something inside Emma cracked open, not pain this time, but warmth. She slowly sat back down. "Yes," she said, her voice softer than she expected. "I'd like that." She didn't know why this moment felt important. She only knew she wasn't standing up anymore, and for the first time that night, she wasn't alone. They introduced themselves awkwardly. Daniel, the man, Lucy, his daughter. Lucy climbed into the chair beside Emma without hesitation, as if this was always meant to happen. "My daddy doesn't like blind dates," Lucy announced proudly. Daniel sighed. "Lucy, it's true," she insisted. "Mom used to say love shouldn't be rushed." The words landed gently but deeply. Emma nodded, understanding more than she let on. "Your mom sounds wise." Daniel's eyes softened. She was. There was no heavy silence after that. Just a respectful pause, one that acknowledged loss without letting it dominate the moment. They talked about simple things. Favorite Christmas movies. Bad gifts. Childhood traditions. Emma laughed more in 20 minutes than she had all week. Lucy showed her a crayon drawing she'd been working on, 3 stick figures holding hands under a crooked Christmas tree. "That's us now," Lucy said matter-of-factly. Emma smiled, her chest tightening. "I think you might be right." Time passed unnoticed. Outside, snow began to fall, soft, quiet, forgiving. Eventually, Daniel cleared his throat. "I don't usually do this," he said carefully. "But, would you like to walk through the Christmas market with us?" No pressure. Emma hesitated, not from fear, but from surprise. Life didn't usually offer second chances so gently. "I'd like that," she said. They walked together under strings of lights, Lucy skipping ahead, pointing at everything with wonder. Daniel told Emma about learning to braid hair, about late-night homework battles, about the fear of not being enough. Emma told him about failed dates, about waiting for something real, about how rejection had taught her resilience, but also how tired she was of being strong alone. Neither tried to impress. Neither pretended to be unbroken, and that's what made it different. At the end of the night, Lucy hugged Emma tightly. "I hope you come back tomorrow." Emma looked at Daniel, unsure. "I hope so too," he said quietly. Christmas morning came with a message, not from a dating app, not from obligation, but from choice. "Would you like to join us for breakfast?" Months later, that cafe would still stand, tables rearranged, chairs replaced, but Emma would always remember the empty chair she almost walked away from, because sometimes rejection isn't the end. Sometimes it's just making room. If Emma had stayed bitter, if Daniel had stayed silent, if Lucy hadn't believed that tables were meant to be shared, 3 lives would have remained separate. Love doesn't always arrive on time. But when it does, it often starts with a simple question. Can we join? And the right answer can change everything.